And yea, there was much rejoicing. Apple has given us everything that we wanted in a brand new powerful line of MacBook Pros. Oh my God, what? Wait, what's that? What? Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. And right now we're hurting. We're hurting bad. Apple has hurt us. It's true. It's true. What seemed like, you know, all of a sudden a new ray of sunshine in the gloominess that is the Apple world has come back to the darkness. It seems like only yesterday everybody was super excited because we were all surprised that Apple had given us this brand new refresh of the MacBook Pro line that brought quad-core chips to the 13-inch, and it brought 6-core chips to the 15-inch, and it was just amazing. I mean, this was the kind of raw power i7, i9 chips that everybody needed in order to be able to do their creative work efficiently. In addition, Apple, along with Blackmagic Designs, released an eGPU that has an AMD Radeon RX 580 inside with a sticker price of $700. Now, non-upgradable. So all told, if you get the 512GB version of the 15-inch MacBook Pro and opt for the eGPU to get that little bit of extra oomph, you're looking at $2,800 plus $700 for a whopping $3,500. And that doesn't count for Apple Care or any of the other stuff, the dongles, and etc., that you got to get when you make an Apple purchase. If you want to opt for 32 gigs of RAM, and yay, there was much rejoicing, and maybe an i9 chip to get that extra little bit of something, then it's another $700, and that takes you up to $4,200. And maybe you want to get a bigger hard drive, 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, 3 terabytes, 4. That's $3,200 extra for the 4. For those kinds of prices, you would expect a setup that will tear through anything you throw at it like a Wolverine in a chicken restaurant. I don't know. And you should. But now that the new MacBook Pros are out in the wild and folks have been starting to run them through their paces, some pretty disturbing facts have begun to come to light. First, our good friend Dave Lee, fantastic YouTuber, really does great laptop coverage. Dave started putting his i9 model through the paces, and he found that it was actually thermal throttling below the advertised base clock. That's not good. It was performing at about the same level as the 2017 MacBook Pro that had a much less powerful chip. And that ain't right. He even went as far as to put his 2018 in the freezer and run the same kinds of tests and found that running cooler, the i9 started to show a little bit of what it could do. But who in their right mind is going to edit video in, say, a meat locker just to get the advertised performance of the $4,000-something MacBook Pro that they purchased? Not many. Not many at all. Maybe Rocky Balboa, I'm not sure. But on top of that, Max Zuriev did some testing on the Blackmagic eGPU that he got and found it was lacking the advertised performance in the places where it really counts. It seems that the eGPU works well with Final Cut Pro when editing a video, but when it comes to exporting a video, the eGPU sits on the bench over there and just says, no, I'm peace out, I'm done. You go ahead and take care of the rest of this onboard GPU. Apparently, this has something to do with how Final Cut Pro is programmed at the moment. It's likely fixable in an update, and the i9 throttling thing might be fixable as well. But what's the point of getting a $700 peripheral for a $4,200 machine when it doesn't perform when it's needed most? All of this leads me to wonder, I mean, did Apple just throw these things together without properly testing, doing their due diligence, as it were? Just to get new products on the market to take the stink off from the significant heat they're taking with class action lawsuits and stuff that's, you know, keyboards that are just not working, so they're not having to replace them for free, and it's ugh. For years we've been told that Apple couldn't put 32 gigs of RAM in a MacBook Pro because the power draw was just too much. But now they've said, oh no, we can do it. We put DDR4 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM in there and threw in some extra battery, and it should be good. The more powerful chips on these models are also going to draw a lot more power and cause a lot more heat. But did Apple really think this through? Did they think through the thermal impact that the powerful components would bring in performance? It seems like the answer is no. No, they did not. They've been going for thinner and lighter MacBooks for a few years now, and while the engineering is super impressive, it has come back to bite them in the hind parts, let's say. What seemed at first blush like Apple finally listening to their pro customers and giving us the specs that we've been begging for, it's quickly turning into what looks like another embarrassing black eye for a company who, for all its successes, seems to be not able to keep from stepping on their own toes. It's early days for the 2018 MacBook Pro, but the negative evidence, the lack of real planning, is starting to mount quickly, and what seemed like a great new product is looking like it might yet be another bungle in a series of bungles when it comes to Apple and their computer lineup. This used to be what Apple did. This was their bread and butter. They were a computer manufacturer. That was their deal. It was how they built their incredibly loyal user base. But how many times can a user base withstand screw up after screw up before they finally throw in the towel? For some reason, Apple seems to be able to hold sway over its users in a way that one can only deem supernatural, because any other manufacturer who screwed up this much would lose their customer base like that. For many, it's still Mac OS that matters. It's the preferred option for creative productivity for a ton of people. But I know my confidence is shaken more and more with every class action lawsuit, with every half-baked product launch, with everything that Apple does that shows that they just can't deliver anymore. Coming out of the gate here with these kinds of problems, it's not looking good. When Apple announced these machines 3 weeks after I picked up a 2017 15-inch model, I was really ticked off. But now I find myself sort of hanging back in wait-and-see mode. The early adopters are having trouble with these new machines, and the problems are growing. Just look at how many videos have popped up on YouTube in just the past couple of days about this issue. Is this another nail in the coffin of Apple? That's what I keep thinking every time something like this happens. I think, yet another mess up from Apple. They're just going down the tubes, but yet they still keep making tons and tons of money. Have you gone out and picked up your 2018 MacBook Pro? Have you experienced any problems, or are you on the fence saying, I'm just going to wait and see what happens with this one? Let me know down in the comments. I really want to hear from you. I really want to have this conversation, because I mean, Apple can't win for losing at this point, and it really should not be this way. Thanks so much for being here. If this was your first time, then you can do the things that'll help you come back and see me again sometime, where I do other things like this. And if you've been here before, thank you very much. You guys make my life a little bit better every day. If you want to know what kind of stuff I use to make my videos, if you want to know other projects that I have, like my novel, music, etc., the links down in the description below. You can check them out. But otherwise, again, my name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. Until the next time, I'm out.